This is Average Joe PT, where we're here to reduce pain, reduce anxiety, improve overall function. Now today, Scully and I, we're going to talk about car accidents and what physical therapy can do to help reduce your pain after a car accident, as well as treatments that you can do in your own home after getting into a car accident to help reduce your symptoms. Woo! Let's go, Scully. Hold on tight. Here we go. Now the first thing we want to look at, ain't this right, Scully? He's not talking right now, maybe he'll talk a little bit later, is we want to look at the muscles that run the base of the skull and down the side of the spine and then come down into the shoulders and then run down into the mid part of your back. Now, I'm going to leave a ping up here. It's going to show you those muscles right that I'm talking about. There's some superficial or muscles that you can touch, and then there's some deep and deeper muscles that attach right onto the spine. And a lot of those can get not only strained, but we call micro tears. We're actually within the tissue, muscle tissue itself, it actually tears and bleeds. And that's where a lot of your pain can come from. And those small little muscles, like your suboccipital muscles, those muscles that run the base of the skull, those can get really irritated and give you a lot of headaches after having a car accident. As well as, you figure if you're driving and you're holding on that steering wheel tight, or the seatbelt that comes across and kind of yanks you forwards and back. You know, you have a forward motion, a back motion, a whipping motion, hence the word whiplash in your neck, as well as some mid-back and low back pain that you can have, especially if you're hanging on the bottom of your feet and bracing yourself if you realize the impact is coming to you or not. So a lot of those muscles across the lower part of your back too that I've talked about in the past. You know, I'm going to leave a ting up here. There's one video that I talked about where there's 3 muscle groups that can get irritated and get tight and stretching. You can go ahead and look at that one if you've been in a car accident. That one definitely will help you. As well as I'm going to leave another one up here that talks about just some postural exercises you can do after having a car accident. So let's just say that it's been, 3 or 4 days after the accident. What you want to do is you want to ice it. Ain't that right, Scully?
You need to ice it as much as you can.
Yeah, Scully's all about icing. So you definitely want to ice the base of that skull and around the shoulders for the first 72 hours, that inflammatory phase. Don't heat it at all. All that stuff is very swollen and irritated. So ice is your best friend. Now, after about, let's say, 7-8 days, you can go ahead and start doing some basic range of motion exercises, looking to the left and looking to the right. Just to the point where you're feeling a stretch. Don't go to the point where you're having pain. That doesn't make any sense at all. Let's say you had a car accident in the past and you're still having some symptoms. These exercises I'm going to show you right now are definitely good ones you should do. Exercise number 1 will be, stay tuned. Right, so let's go ahead and just say that, for instance, that it's been a week or so and you're still having a lot of pressure, a lot of tightness. Take a towel, wad it on up, make a nice little twist to it. We're going to take a little side profile of me. You're going to take your hands, one on each side. Now you want to do this on an angle like this, not straight ahead, all right, on an angle almost in this motion. The reason why you're doing that motion, because that's how the joints align in your spine itself. So there's a reason for that. And what you want to do is you just want to kind of look up just a little bit, not straight up, but kind of like a 45 angle. And in that angle, what I want you to do is just kind of pull nice and easy and then relax. A nice little pull, shouldn't have pain, just maybe some little bit of stretch on those neck muscles and then relax. You want to hold that for probably about 3-5 seconds and relax. And then you're going to shift it up a little bit, kind of move it up a little bit, and then rinse and repeat. Now some people like to just do a straight edge. They'll just go a nice straight edge and do the exact same thing. That can be good, but if you're having a lot of pain, that kind of pressure sometimes can bother you. You get a better, let's say, fit or angle with it straight, but we're talking here where we want to try and reduce the pain as much as possible in the home environment. So you might want to just go a little bit on the soft side and do the exact same thing. And you're going to do that for about 5-10 minutes. Pretty simple. Now you want to heat that up maybe for about 5 minutes or so, just so that the muscles in the area aren't as painful. Now, I'm going to leave another link, and this link is basically for the TheraKing. Now that's what I talked about in that video, so if you want to look at that and where you can purchase it, I'll leave a link down below. That's a really nice tool to work on around the neck and around the base and down the sides of the neck. That'll work really well. Now, besides just some techniques like this, you can go ahead and do something as simple like this, what we call a chin tuck. It looks kind of silly, but if you kind of look straight ahead and just kind of pull back, you should feel a pull in the base of the skull. And you're holding that for about 10-15 seconds. Go to the point where you just feel a stretch. If you stretch too hard, you're going to start to give yourself a headache because they're stretching those suboccipital muscles. I'm going to show you on the backside of Scully here what I'm talking about. These little muscles that once you get down to the spine and they kind of run and attach on either side of the base of the skull, and those are your nodding muscles. Just like Scully. Nodding, nodding, nodding. Unfortunately, he doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, he talks crazy. But then I'll give you a couple of good techniques. You got some heat, you got some stretching, you got some TheraKing. Now, the other big thing you want to worry about is if your pain is chronic, you might want to use a TENS unit. Now, I've used a TENS unit in the last couple episodes, so I'm not going to talk about that again. I'll just leave a ping probably somewhere up in here, a card, and to talk about the TENS unit itself, and you can kind of go over that. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below and I'll try and answer it. But that's basically the TENS unit. You might want to run just a base on either side. You might want to run up into the neck, one pad on one side, one pad on the other, and then another pad on either side. And so if you have any questions, like I said, about that, you can go ahead and leave a comment down below. All right, I got on the floor again with Scully. This is all about people who are having specifically just neck pain and they can't sleep well. One of the good techniques I showed last time, and one of my subscribers really loved it. I figure I'll show it even a little bit better this time with some decent pillows. This is, I call the upside down V. I should probably patent this. I kind of came up with it myself. All right, so got one pillow one way, one pillow the other, and you got one right across. And so what you want to do is essentially come into this position so that your shoulder blades are being supported completely, as well as your mid-back and your neck. It's all one unit. All right. Now you can fluff them up more if you have another pillow on each side and also your head. But the premise is that your neck, your head, your neck, your shoulders, and your mid-back are all one unit, instead of having separate hinges at your part of your neck in your lower back and mid-back and upper back area. So it's all one unit. So that's a good technique to help reduce your pain if you're having issues with sleeping. Because sleeping on your side, you're always trying to fill the gap. That gap between your shoulder and your neck. And a lot of times, this is only going to work for a short period because you still are having a lot of neck motion this way. From my side of my head to my side of my shoulder, you're still having a lot of cranking, even with the pillows filled in the gap. So this is probably the better position. And maybe if you can't sleep on your back, maybe put some pillows or something underneath your knees so that your legs can rest over the top, as well as being in this position. But if you have any comments or questions on that, go ahead and leave them down below, and I'll try and answer for you after. See, Scully, it wasn't too bad being on the floor this time.
That's what you say. It's always bad being down here.
Oh, okay. He's something else. All right, I'll let Scully go. He's driving me nuts. But one more technique, I want to take a towel, pretty small, one of my magic towels, like I always say, magic towel on average Joe. You're gonna take this towel, now you can do this in the bed, obviously not on the floor, you probably gonna be hurting too much. I have some pillows over the top of my legs, you can see a little bit. So take that towel and you're gonna put it at the base of your skull. And so this is kind of comfortable. What I want you to do is keep your head on the towel and just gently touch your chin, just a little bit, holding for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then relax. You're not lifting your head off the towel at all. The head stays firmly on the towel. Touch your relax. Now sometimes people what they'll do is they'll put the ice pack across the base of here or on the shoulders. You can do that. Just make sure you don't burn yourself. And then you can add this little stretching with it, holding for about 3 seconds and then relaxing, and doing like 15 or 20 of those by a couple times a day. That'll help stretch some of those deeper muscles that are really tight and irritated after having a car accident. So that's a nice little tip that you can do with your towel roll at home to help stretch all those muscles that run the base of the skull. Stay tuned. Like always, Scully and I would love to have you in our community. So you can subscribe down below, hit the call bell, and you can see our content. I'm trying to bring once or twice a week. And if you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I'll try and get to them as fast as I can. All right? And until next time I want you to look up, keep smiling. Ain't that right, Scully?
I wish this guy would have a new ending. This is getting ridiculous.
He always says that. I wish he would change. All right. See you next time.